freshman in college.
And talk about your transition, like how you got there, how you got to college, and like what the process was, and if it was difficult, if it was easy, if you had great mentors helping you along the way, or was it the struggle that made you strong? Like how? Tell me about that.
Okay, so for me, something that I think is essential to understand is that if you don't really have a college degree, the job outlook is not really good for you. So for me, getting a degree means pretty much you're key to doing something, or key to middle class kind of, in a sense, where you can provide for a family. And for people that aren't in foster care, don't understand that the family they have is like their biggest blessing. And so foster youth don't really have that adaptation or foundation that they do have. So for me, having a family is like a way for my little brother to understand that college is a path you take, it is a natural thing, it is what you do. In high school, I didn't really, where my light turned on was kind of when I was a sophomore, when I was like 15, 16, and an AVID teacher asked me what I was going to do with my life.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, I couldn't really tell her. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no plans. Because like when you're 18, you're legally responsible for yourself. You're really no longer a foster youth. So I was like, I have no idea. And so I joined AVID, which is a program for minorities, first generation college student, or first generation students. So I did that, and my AVID teacher really taught me about the FAFSA, which is financial aid. It's a free application, so you can get federal assistance, which is due March 2nd. She taught me about a Chafee grant, which is for foster youth that go to state schools and community colleges, which you apply on the line.
And you get up to $5,000.
Yeah, up to $5,000. She taught me what a Pell Grant was. She helped me submit my Cal Grant verification forms, which is above a 3.0, you get more money.
Yes.
And so they kind of just like made a map of a 3.0 is what you receive. So I also did sports to challenge my energy, and so I became a scholarly athlete. And I just learned about a bunch of different things to increase my resume, so I can apply for colleges. So like when the time came, I had a really exceptional personal statement. I got into UCLA, I got into Berkeley,
wow.
I got into Cal Poly, and so that was pretty much because my experiences kind of shaped the way for me to, like, for example, like I did sports because that was something that it was a foundation for me to follow, and I didn't really have structure. Mm-hmm. So I excelled in it because I had something to go off of. So when it came to applying to colleges, like it was just, I did it because it's something I knew.
And how has your first year been? Like,
so my first year absolutely was really hard.
To bear left.
Something you learn is if you don't have a relationship with like your foster parents previous you, or like your like mom or dad, it's like, where are you gonna go for Thanksgiving?
Right.
Where are you gonna go during Christmas breaks? Or like it's just like figuring yourself out, really. And like you don't realize it because the whole time while you're under the age of 18, you have somebody consistently showing you and being like, this is what you do, or you have a social worker guiding you, whether you like to admit it or not. There's always something for you to go. And so like for me, it was,
you kind of felt completely independent.
Yeah, I felt really independent. And so my first semester to now, my first semester I was really untouched with THP, which is a transitional housing program. I didn't really talk to ILP caseworkers because I didn't think that they really did anything when I was in high school. I didn't really talk to my social worker, and so like, what changed was establishing myself with somebody I could talk to. So like people that are I like found a therapist because, you know, I found out that you really do need to talk to somebody about things and you're not crazy.
Right.
It's just
therapy is good for everyone.
Yeah, so like I got a therapist, I got in touch with a case manager, and I got into the THP Plus program, which is a blessing for foster youth because it's a transitional housing program. What it is, it pays for your housing for youth that are independent, that don't have parents, that pay for everything themselves. You should know that having somebody pay for your housing, because you really don't know how much things are, is like the biggest weight lift. Like, it's just like everything's so much easier now. And so I have a case manager that makes sure, like, I have my license, but for youth that don't, they're like, okay, you get your license. This is how you get insurance.
Right.
Or, like, this is how you go grocery shopping. Or you need a mop. You need a... Like, because I live in a dorm, for example, and I never realized all the stuff you needed.
Yep.
You know, you don't realize that you absolutely need cleaning supplies. You need like a different dish, a different fork, different knives for different things, and you just really just grow up. And so that's the transition that really changes.
Well, that's good. I think it sounds like you've had some great people along the way, and you also kind of have a fighter mentality. Like, you just figured out how to be resourceful and get things done, and you yourself reached out to all those connections when people were like, you should look into this. You followed through, and so I think you're a shining example of what the outcome could be if you just follow through on something, you know, and never give up. I mean, filling out that paperwork is not easy, okay?
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And so I think, though, right now you just feel really comfortable and you're excited about continuing into sophomore year and then graduating. Like, you've got everything taken care of.
Yeah. And something people should know is that college is always an opportunity. For me, the reason why I didn't go to Berkeley or UCLA is because I put cost into play, and I shouldn't have. And you should never put a price tag on your education, ever. Because
That's good too.
Because something that I've learned is that it's an investment, and no matter what the loan is, people will help you figure out your educational goals. Like, there is financial aid, there is a way to pay for your education. So just because you see a number, like, after you apply for college and you see $50,000 like I did, don't let that stop you. Like, it will get paid for. Like, that is not a problem, because there's people out there to help you if you're willing to help yourself by doing something. So that's just my best advice I can give somebody.
Thanks. I think that's really helpful.
Okay, there we go. It's a wrap.